Okay, I think all of our Legacy United stuff is behind us. Oh, thank God. Dude, I thought that would never end, even though it was just one figure. Anyways, now I can finally finish my quota for the end of the year. I have such limited time, too. So, I'm going to be talking about stuff that I actually wanted to talk about. So, oh man, I'm super excited. We are going to be eating good tonight. So, without further ado, let's get right into... Yep, sorry reviews that I was actually planning on getting to. You'll have to be waiting a couple more days. For now, we're going to review more Legacy United. I think because Tigerhawk's going to be my last one, I don't know if they're going to send it. I probably won't get to review it until I get back. I'll start with animated, and I'll end with Beast Wars, so we'll do Bumblebee first, so... Beat it, Stitch. Oh boy, I'm already seeing some major issues right there. Oh my God. So you're meaning to tell me you couldn't have clear plastic right here, but you could all over the figure. Why couldn't this just be black? Why couldn't the windshield just be black paint on yellow plastic so it matched properly? That's literally what every single animated Bumblebee did. Or at least this one, and it looked fantastic. It added to the animated flow and style. Why are we... Oh, I'll talk about that in the review. How many steps does it take? Oh, woohoo! Oh, I was about to say, 27. That's more than Optimus. Nope, 22. That's not so bad. Damage box. That's also why I'm reviewing this first, even though I'm going to be opening up both of them. So, let's just get right into it. I'm going to do it again. Influencer moment. Okay, I'm trying to get situated with these figures, and I'm messing with this guy first. I have some things to say, which you'll see in just a moment, but I have to say, oh, he's so cute. Look at him compared to Bumblebee. He's so tiny. I love that. But that's nothing. He has the tissue for his weapons. Look at this. Oh, it's the same. It's Autobot. The logo's all over the tissue paper. That's so cute. Oh, this fucking guy has ruined my vernacular. Holy shit. Tiny. Oh, tiny Bumblebee. Incredible. I love how tiny this guy is. But I gotta be honest, man. I got this guy out, messed with him for a couple hours, and now that I've formed a solid opinion, I gotta say it. Remember when I said the animated Prime of the four was the one I was the least interested in to get as my first? I think I'm glad I got that guy before I got Bumblebee. Because I'm gonna be honest, unfortunately, I don't think this is one of Transformers' best. Like I said, this guy is very tiny, very small, and that's all well and good, but, I mean, this is, I'm gonna come out and say it, this is a fucking mess. This is just messy. I remember the first time I transformed these, I literally thought to myself, that's it? Look at that. That looks so unfinished. But no, you can't push that any farther because this is connected to the arms, and the arms are completely against the thighs of the robot. So, yeah, good luck getting this into place. I looked up how other people have it, and this is pretty accurate, unfortunately. Also, these windows, man, they just don't look good. What was their thought process of making this guy made out of clear plastic? I don't get it. It's to make it look premium. The windows look premium. Does this look premium to you? All you can see inside is garbage. The actual windows themselves have so much sculpting, and on clear plastic, it's very noticeable. It just looks messy. All you see inside is just gunk, garbage. And now this yellow is mismatched to the yellow plastic. Hasbro... Stop it! You're great at listening to your fans. But this, no. For some reason, they are adamant. We need clear plastic. I think that it's actually cheaper to make it like this. I don't fucking get it, man.
I don't understand you.
Also on the back, completely just yellow plastic, kind of cheap. Usually I'm not bothered by this, but I mean, like, look at the rest of the car. This doesn't even look like windows. It's just like it abruptly cuts off, and it's just these weird amalgamations of different shapes and colors. Hey, at least they got the stripe correct, and, you know, he's got the red spotlight. That's good. He's got the Autobot logo. This is not a good car mode. It's tiny, and it's cute, and let me just be straight up front, and I already had the clip of me saying this, but this guy is tiny. But I'm not really bothered by it because I do like when Bumblebee is tiny. See, here's the thing. Bumblebee is a character that more times than not I really do not like, and the reason for that is because he does have his attributes that make him unique. He's tiny, he's a cute little car, and then in robot mode, he's got a really unique anatomy where he's got the front of the car as his feet, and then this is all his chest. And he's... What I loved about animated Bumblebee is, I've already said this, but I assumed he would look like how he does in Prime, where he's just the standard, boring buff bot that he usually is nowadays. But no, he's basically everything that I loved about G1 Bumblebee, but stylized in a way to where he's like super scrawny, and he's got a big head, so he looks chibi. I love animated Bumblebee. And I'll admit, while it's not a Volkswagen Beetle, which is definitely my favorite alt mode for Bumblebee, it's a nice, cute-looking car. It almost looks like a penny racer, so that's all well and good. So it's not an awful car mode, but it's not exactly good either. Now, some people have pointed out that these are all pinned on wheels. There's no pegs, so apparently he rolls well. I haven't tested it out. Let's test it. I guess he rolls okay, but not particularly super amazingly to make up for it, so... Yeah, unfortunately, this alt mode is just kind of a mess. Look at this. Look at this giant hinge in this socket. Dude, they knew it looked bad. It's even on the fucking box. Ugh, just does not look good. But hey, he's got clear missile rockets, whatever. Here you go. You can take these off, but it's like, they're both clear plastic. It's so... It feels fragile. So I'm never going to take it off. I'm sorry. But yeah, you can do that. And then you can do that. I guess the drills do kind of look like flames, so that's not a terrible look. This is not looking good so far. Hasbro has sent better warriors than our Mighty Bee. Let's just get into some comparisons. We'll start off with good old... fuck, I forgot his name. Earthrise Bumblebee, Netflix Bumblebee, whatever. I really like this alt mode. It really reminds me of the Masterpiece. Although I do like it when it's more squash. Like, this is a little long, but, you know. They're around the same in terms of height. This one's a bit shorter when it comes to from here to here. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. Also, oh my god, this guy is in such bad shape. Oh my god, he's so... Oh, man. Oh... Daddy will make you better someday. Probably not. Probably a lost cause. Here's another yellow car to compare him with. Another toy that was slightly ruined with unnecessary clear plastic. Hot Shot. I wouldn't say ruined. I actually like this toy, and I actually think it's better than this one. I like this car mode better, but this is... I do kind of like how big it is. And wide car. Very different characters. But yeah, you can tell, like...
Yuck.
Why wasn't this yellow plastic with shiny metallic blue paint? That's accurate to the character. Why wasn't this just all yellow plastic with black windows? Let's lighten the mood, because while this doesn't look great on its own, it does look fairly decent with his animated pals. So the last guy we looked at, Prime, and that looks pretty good. Good old Prowl. You know, I harped on this alt mode because this does look bad, but like, otherwise, it actually doesn't look too bad. And now, compared to this is actually a fairly decent alt mode. And for good measures, let's just bring in Bulkhead. Now that's what I'm talking about. Dude, look at that. It's fucking animated, baby. That is special. I am really looking forward to Ratchet. We need to complete the Quint Trio? Dink Trio? Whatever, the 5 guys. so we can have some nice burgers and fries. Shut up! But yeah, they do all look very nice together. I mean, the greens, the red and the blues and the blacks with the striking shapes, the tiny little yellow guy, and then the black and the gold. It does all look fairly spectacular. But I do want to make one more comparison. I felt that this one was kind of funny. Why is my $10 toy bigger than my $20 one? Listen, I get it. I like small Bumblebee, but this really puts things into perspective. Holy crap. Maybe I should have got Chase first. That's a deluxe, hopefully. So yeah, alt mode. It's not the best. It's really not the best. But hey, hopefully the transformation robot mode can pick things up, hopefully. Maybe. No. Now, when getting this into place, you can tab it into place. But if you don't, you get a nav crunch, and it also makes this transformation infinitely less annoying to deal with, so probably shouldn't. Oh, Jesus. Fucking. Oh, wow, that is... Is there any hooks? Is there any hooks? Just don't tell me there's any hooks. Hasbro, fucking stop it. I appreciate it. Just fucking stop with the hooks. Stop with the hooks. Stop with the hooks! God damn it! How the fuck are you supposed to get this out? How are you supposed to get this out, man? How are you supposed to get this out? No, you can't even, like, get it out through here. Why is this so hard to get out? Jeez. Oh, why is that down there? I guess I forgot. Cool. There you go. Oh, wait, no, I have to get the other one, don't I? Okay. God damn it! See, because I haven't tabbed this into place, this goes down pretty easily. Oh, forgot to turn the waist around, fucking idiot. There you go. And then this tabs into place. Apparently some people have said that it untabs really easily, but like, from my experience, it's more unlikely that this will get out of place than these untabbing. I don't know, just keep it in place. Maybe, you know, maybe it's just copy to copy. Some people are gonna have an issue. I don't, so yeah, whatever. Sure this is underneath here. Otherwise, make sure this is under here, so when you collapse this in, oh, this has to be underneath, and then kind of nestle it into place. And oh, that untabbed. I'm surprised. I mean, your first thought's probably that's it. That's it. Maybe, but like this. See, it's like perfectly alongside the thigh, so you can't push that any further. And that little tab, can you see it? That's already in. So yeah, that is it. This doesn't feel complete. This just doesn't feel complete. Also, you might want to squish this together. It's kind of an obnoxious tab to get plugged into place. There's like a little tab hole down there. Come on, man. Oh, there you go. Okay, I'm just stupid. Okay. So, transformation. Can't say that I loved it. It had a couple of cool parts that were pretty fun, mostly with the legs. But otherwise, it's just too small and has a lot of tiny moving parts. And unlike something like the New Age Bumblebee, which I love that figure, well, that figure's transformation is intuitive, and unless you don't know what you're doing, nothing's going to pop off, nothing's going to be obnoxious to deal with. It's all very intuitive, whereas this guy really isn't. So yeah, transformation was kind of a pain in the ass, but hey, at least the robot mode's good, right? I guess. It's not bad, I'll give you that. Though, I do have a major issue with this guy, and it's not his size. I do love how tiny he is, because I like my Bumblebee small. And hey, he, for the most part, has all the beats of what I love about Bumblebee. He's got front chest, tiny stature. His arms are a little bit different than I'm usually used to, but that's okay. That's just part of animated. And, do we count this? Not really, but that's fine.
Also, I completely forgot to mention this at all. I don't know why, because this is one of my favorite aspects of the character design. But I love when Bumblebee has the two-horned helmet, and also bonus points if you add the mask on his original toy. None of them seem to have the latter part, but hey, at least he's got the former.
And I'll give him this. While this figure is much worse than the original, he does have a much cleaner backpack, so yeah, that's pretty good. My main qualm with this guy is he just doesn't really feel like an animated figure. Like, the last guy we talked about was Prime here. This guy, he's got so much style and pizzazz and personality with his sculpt. He's got all these angles and hard edges that defined animated. And while this does feel like a modern toy, it still captures what was so great about animated. Even Prowl, who I kind of criticized as... This guy is animated Prowl. He's the character Prowl from animated, not animated Prowl from the show. But even then, he still has some features that are very reminiscent of animated, like all of his curves. This guy just feels like a standard Bumblebee with like a couple of the elements there, like these shoulders. But really the only thing that makes this guy look like animated is that head sculpt. And I'll give the devil his dues. The head sculpt is fantastic. The black outlines, I feel like, is a really good way of capturing that animated style. Almost like a pseudo cell shading, but, you know, on a 3D object. But like all of his other design aspects are like just standard limbs. He's just got all these chunks all over the place. That's the farthest thing from animated. And hey, you know what? I think it's kind of neat. He kind of has that thing going where he this looks like a transformer. If you told me this guy doesn't transform, I'd slap you silly with a sausage right alongside the face. But it doesn't look terrible, but it's not animated, like, at all. It is far away from animated. I'll give him credit, though. His anatomy is a lot better than I thought. I thought his anatomy was going to be very, very standard and anatomically accurate to a standard Transformer. But no, he's got a tiny body. He's got longer limbs. He's just a little guy, and I do appreciate that about him. So he is very, very cute, as you probably know. But yeah, he just doesn't feel like an animated toy, which is a real issue. And I'm going to bring it up again. I already talked about it at the beginning. What the fuck is this clear plastic? Why is this clear plastic so abominable? It looks terrible, man. Ugh. Let's get on to articulation, because I heard it was pretty good, but, you know, I haven't gotten too much on-hand experience with it. So he's got... Okay, well, he's got an obnoxious hinge right there. He's got a ball joint at the head. It can go up pretty high. That's nice. Yeah, I do want to emphasize the point that is a very, very, very nice head sculpt. So he's got that down. He's got these really weird shoulders where it's all hinges. It's all hinges. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look. Get out of here. It's got like a hinge here. He's got a hinge here, and he's got another hinge like right there. So it's very unusual, and also no back at all. So I don't know about that. He's got this elbow, which is decent, but this has to be out of the way in order for you to use it well. But like, now Something I wasn't aware of at first, but was pointed out to me when I was watching videos on how to transform this guy, because I couldn't just look at the instructions and then figure it out the second time like I usually do. I had to look at the
video guide
the first time, mostly with getting this tabbed in. But yes, he does actually have articulated wrists, and considering how they transform, that is very nice. At least, if you're going to make this guy this small, some of the budget went to the actual quality of making him as premium as possible. It's just wrist articulation, but hey, it's very much appreciated. His waist is alright, and hey, he does have the ab crunch. I didn't tab it in, did I? Okay, that's pretty cool. Legs, they don't go that far. They go back pretty decent amount. They go out perfectly fine. He's got a very tiny thigh swivel. I popped this off while transforming him back into robot mode off camera, so be careful with that. He's got a decent knee bend, and then he's got ankles. They can move forward that far. They can't move back at all, so pointless. And he's got an ankle pivot. Cool. And working in conjunction with both his hips and his ankles, this is as far as his legs go, with both feet flat on the floor.
It's alright. It's okay.
So articulation, it's fine, bordering on awkward in some aspects. Not really the saving grace I was expecting. I guess the original figure must have horrendous articulation, like Generations Waspinator level garbage articulation, because otherwise I don't see it. I guess he can be put in some cute poses. I guess he can do the okay, you can do that. That's neat. That's cool, but I mean, because he's so small and he's got all these hinges everywhere, he's not really a dream to pose like someone else has mentioned. I'm not calling him wrong, just I don't see it. Come on. Oh, that's another thing. Getting these fucking God. This is essential for getting the pivot to work, but it's behind another flap. Thanks, Bumblebee. I really appreciate it. Oh. What is it, Star Wars droids? Everything's so fucking awkward and falling over on its face. You made me bring up Star Wars droids! That's how you know! Well, actually, I do that almost 24/7, so... You got off easy, asshole. Let's bring in his weapons. Now, you can take this off, plug them together, and, like, put them into his arms. I'm not gonna do that. I know, I kind of rag on people who, like, review Beast Wars 2 figures, or Neo, and don't do the third mode. The difference is, I'm pretty sure I might break this guy if I do that, so I'm just gonna not even bother. But you can't plug these into his hands, but because his hands are so tiny, and these pegs are so thick, it's not easy. Ugh! Jesus fucking Christ. There you go, they're in. And you know what, I'll be fair, they don't look that bad. Oh, come on. Oh, cool, wonderful. I put it on too far. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, they look fine. They look decent, but nothing too special. Let's get some final comparisons before we wrap things up. Here he is with my beloved Earthrise Bumblebee, and he's about the same height, and I think that's really cool. I'm glad to have, again, I already mentioned this with G1 and Animated Optimus, I'm glad to have a really nice rendition of G1 and a rendition of Animated Bumblebee. It's cool to have both of these guys, because they're both my favorite Bumblebees, by a long shot. Now that I think about it, I kind of want them to make an RID 2015 Bumblebee, because I feel like my reaction to that would be hilarious. It would mostly just be this. Now, normally I actually like having this off, because I think, you know, it makes his back look a lot cleaner, but this peg broke off. Oh, my poor cherished Bumblebee. I so want to fix you. I want you to feel better inside, man, but... I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. This is getting too sad. I need to move on. Okay, here's good old Hot Shot. And you know, I know a lot of people had an issue with this figure, mostly because it was so aggressively mediocre, but I think this guy is much better than B here. You know, other than the fact that these are on the back of his legs and inhibit articulation unless you move them out, but then they just look awful. The fact they should be on his arms, which look way too small. Otherwise, this is basically as good as a Hot Shot figure as you're gonna get. I mean, his robot mode otherwise is nice. He still has the gimmick, it's just manual now. Some people probably cry about that, but I think that's good. His transformation is almost decent. His car mode does look nice, just if he didn't have the clear plastic, yeah. He only has a couple of issues. That's fine. He's still a great figure. This guy, he's got some subscription situations. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. I almost said subscription issues, but I'm trying to avoid using the word issue. Wonderful. But let's not leave on a sour note. Let's bring back all the animated guys. So, well, I do have my problems with this Bumblebee. He does look very nice compared to this Optimus. Let's bring back in Bulkhead. Yeah. I mean, that's not really animated Bulkhead, but neither is that. And here you go, my man Prowl. Ooh, Ratchet, please. Please come in. So, you know, I still have my issues with this figure, but I'm glad to have it, because now I have a Bumblebee that fits in with these newer toys, and that's really nice. So, that was the new Bumblebee. Legacy United Animated Universe Bumblebee. What are my overall thoughts? Well, even though this was unintentional, me bringing in the premium finished Rhinox at the beginning of the video did actually have a point, because how a lot of people feel about that Rhinox toy, I feel towards this guy. Now, maybe that's a bit too far, because I personally think that toy's okay, and I will talk about that in an upcoming video, but a lot of people fucking hate that figure, and my thoughts on this figure are complicated. The robot mode looks fine, but it's way too small. Not really because it's a scale issue, but because a lot of the parts just kind of clash with each other. It's a figure that was engineered like it should be bigger, but it's not. Because of that, it's a figure that's more frustrating than it should be.
Though I will say, objectively, the smaller scale is kind of a big issue, because while I personally don't mind it, I know a lot of people do hate the smaller figures. It's an understandable position to have. The thing is, unlike a lot of the other smaller figures, this one doesn't really make up for it. He doesn't have the increased engineering like Ironhide or the giant bazooka like the Bumblebee and Cliffjumper mold. So I feel like this guy's kind of a ripoff, and that's going to be a pretty major contributing factor to this guy's score.
The transformation's not really fun at all. It has some parts that are really annoying, and then the car mode's kind of a mess. It's not terrible, but I'm going to be honest, a lot of this figure's highlights are just being carried by the fact that I like this guy. If someone were to review this guy and say it's one of the worst Transformers in the past couple of years and that it's terrible, couldn't even blame them. I could definitely see where they're coming from, so yeah, I expect opinions on this guy to be quite sour. As for me, it's not that bad, but not exactly great. I would only recommend you get this if you have to have an animated Bumblebee, because I'm pretty sure the original one is probably going to be a little expensive and it won't fit in with the newer stuff. So if you need to have it, fine. But if you don't care about animated and you don't really like Bumblebee, don't get this. You do not need this. I'm kind of struggling on what to rank this guy. I'm thinking between a C- and a D+. You know what? I'm going to give him this score because I like the sound effect better, so whew, that was fun. Probably the most fun part of this review. If you're mad at me because I gave the deciding factor of the review score to something as superficial as I like the sound effect better, review scores don't matter when it comes to reviews. What actually does is the stuff that I say, hopefully that came across decently well. So, I mean, if you got pissed at that, it's your own fault, idiot. Unfortunately, yeah, it's Legacy United. I was very, very excited, looking forward to these toys. This one didn't land very well. Unfortunate. Kind of rough. Sorry, guys, but this one kind of stinks. But that's okay. We'll just move on, and hopefully the next one will be better.
Okay, sorry, man. Seems you missed out. This is going to be sold out.
For how long?
Forever.
Yeah, that's
No.